Welcome back to Zangeki no Reginleiv, and because I completely forgot to mention this in the other video, the name Zangeki no Reginleiv means slashing Reginleiv. And Reginleiv is the name of one of the Valkyries in Norse mythology. But anyway, as promised, we are going to get some greatsword action in this particular video. And we're also going to get introduced to a new enemy type. Because up until now, we've just been facing the regular frost giants. But those were the small ones. These are the medium-sized ones. Yes, there are ones larger than this. So you'll notice right away, this one's wielding a giant hammer. You also notice I am taking pot shots at said hammer, as well as not aiming specifically for the body or the head, but instead the limbs. And if you get hit by that attack, it sends you flying. You don't just, like, flinch a little bit like you would from the other giants. These larger giants can take damage in several different places. They can get hit in the body and legs, the arms, and as you can see, you can sever their limbs. And something else I just did was I broke the hammer. And when you sever more than one limb on them, they become basically immobilized. They can't really attack. If you only cut off one arm, they can still use the other arm to, like, swat at you on the ground. And also, they can regenerate. Now there's another reason that they lose limbs and stuff like this, which is it plays into the kinds of crystals they drop. You might have noticed I just got these. These are not snowflakes. These are actually water crystals. Those drop specifically when you cut off limbs of these larger enemies. There are also crystals you can get for decapitating these larger enemies. Although that's a little harder to do, because with the swords and great swords, that's pretty difficult, because you have to hit them specifically in the head. It's usually easier to do with bows or spears, which I'll show you later. It's also easier to do with the scepters and wands that Freya uses. And I'm just taking advantage of this distance between me and the other giants to pick a few off and make things a little easier later on. Now as for the greatsword, you can already tell that it functions quite differently from the regular longsword. It does have a bit more range to it, and that is part of the stats readout, which I haven't gone over yet. It also has more power going for it, and I love that move. Just annihilating all those smaller giants. Oh, and you don't have to worry about the water, you can just walk over it. Could you imagine if the developers actually made it so that going into the water harmed or killed you? That would just be a huge dick move. But anyway, that was the last straggler for that particular group of giants. Okay, now the other ones have spawned. That's the thing, some of these are timed, and some of them happen based on whether you've cleared out all the giants from a previous mob or not. But, yep, we're going to have another one of those medium giants. And you can kind of tell from where I'm aiming and where the arrows land that there is a bit of an arc to the shot. So if you're too far away, you do have to start aiming above where you want it to hit. And I can't say enough how much I love using the greatsword in this. Although I kind of wasted that stronger attack by not being close enough to that many enemies. Oh, another thing I forgot to mention from the previous video is that the warriors that are following you around, they can die. Although, when that happens, they just usually respawn near the village, albeit with less than ideal health. Oh, jeez. Yeah, I forgot to mention they can step on you too. Yeah, and you can see the water crystals flying out as that happened, and Obi's regenerating, and he's slapping at my warriors. See, like, even if I'm aiming for the head, it's still really difficult to get a decap unless you're using a weapon that does pinpoint damage instead of arcing across the screen, like the swords or the great swords or some of the scepters, I think? I don't know. The scepters and wands for Freya are kind of weird. I'll get more into that later. And as you can see here, we picked up the water crystals from the limb dismemberment. And we also got those earth crystals at the bottom from destroying the weapon. Now, let's go ahead and move into the next mission. I completely forgot, by the way, that I was supposed to switch to Freya. So, I'm kind of bucking that trend for this one particular video. I think just to even things out, I'll do Freya for 2 straight missions in the video after this, just to make up for it.
ついに巨人族が動いたか。
軍勢を派遣してミズガルドから巨人族を駆逐しましょう。
ならぬ。
ですが、このままだと人間たちに大きな被害が出ます。
人間は神々にとって唯一の味方。救わねばなりませんぞ。
許さぬ。
軍勢がダメなら俺様一人で行こう。このミョルニルハンマーがあれば巨人族など。
私も行こう。おお、雷神と武人が動かれるか。
トール殿とテュール殿はアスガルド一の戦士。巨人と互角に戦えるのはお二人以外にはおらぬでしょう。
巨人どもを粉砕してくれる。
我らにお任せを。
許さぬ。
なぜです。
これは予兆に過ぎぬのだ。時は来たれり。
まさか
ラグナロク。
巨人族との最終戦争が迫っていると。
そうだ。
なんということ。ついに始まるのですね。
急ぎアスガルドの守りを固めるのだ。
私は行きます。
何？
人間を見捨てるなど。
若きフレイよ、アスガルドが陥落すれば世界は終わる。神々の力を結集し決戦に備えねばならぬ。
分かっております。
一度の勝利で巨人族を侮るでない。我々は1万年もの間軍勢を集め戦いに備えてきた。だがそれでも巨人族に勝てる保証はないのだ。
私も兄様と共に行きます。
愚かな。
お許しください。
勝手にするがよい。
I won't go into the specifics of it, but Odin was really annoying to try and translate, because some of what he says seems to be in Old Japanese and follows Old Japanese grammar, which is quite different from what they currently have.
巨人だ。応戦するぞ。でかい。なんて大きさなんだ。大巨人だ。大きすぎて剣なんか届きゃしねえぞ。弓を使え。走りながら急所を狙うんだ。森の谷の戦い方を見せてやれ。矢を惜しむな。撃ちまくれ。進め。神々のために。神々のために。
If someone out there does get the itch to import this and play it, some helpful resources other than that English menu translation patch. There's a GameFAQs article, actually, written by Gisenko, I think it was, or Kirby101, I think is his username. And he did a lot to translate a bunch of the items in the game, write up, like, helpful ways to gather crystals in this game, strategies you can use for certain stages, just generally making the game as playable as possible, even if you don't know Japanese. So this is slightly different, but basically along the same lines, except he has a club this time instead of a hammer. The weapons are tough to break, at least initially. I mean, obviously it also depends on who you're playing as and what weapons you're going to use. But as you can see, I'm hitting this with strike after strike of the greatsword, and now it finally breaks. And it just goes bouncing off into the distance. Okay, now you can get the other limb off, and there he can't really attack. Although he is going to regenerate his arms fairly quickly. The bow is one of the ways that you can go for decapitations with this. So, even though he's still got both his legs, having neither of his arms means he can't attack. And this is really going to hurt if it hits. Okay, good. Oh, of course. And I should have noted this earlier, but those indicators that you see along the sides of the screen, with katakana and the red arrows under them, are continuously pointing out where the two human characters we see in a lot of the cutscenes, Sigmund and Helgi, are located. Because they're obviously going to be a little better in combat than the generic grunt warriors. Now what's screwed up about this is, in Norse mythology, Helgi is supposedly Sigmund's son, but they're about the same age here, and Helgi's not acting nearly as heroic as, well, as the Wikipedia article says he should be. I mean, I'm not suggesting that they took liberties with the source material, but, you know.
奴らはまた来るだろうな。今度攻められたらとても持ちこたえられねえ。村人を南に逃がそう。巨人族は北からやってくる。南の砦に避難して守りを固めるんだ。そいつは名案だ。すぐに出発の準備をしなけりゃな。俺たちは残る。どうして？近くの村に警告に行く。もはや森の民同士で争っている時じゃない。全員を南に逃がさねば。そりゃそうだけども、俺たちが行くんか？
And that's a little bit of a hint that next time we're going to start seeing additional characters and additional regions. But yeah, we're quickly racking up some of the extra crystals, which you've probably figured it out by now, but we're going to need those for some later weapon crafting. Although, early on, most of the weapons only require just the regular crystals. They don't require water or frost or earth crystals. It's not until you get to around the 3rd level that they usually start showing up. So I just crafted a hammer for Frey, and I'm also going to craft a spear. Spears are technically a ranged weapon, but it just means that they extend out really far. You don't actually throw them. Here you can see a weapon that's going to require a lot of water crystals, so I'm going to have to focus, as this game goes on decapitations, taking off limbs, and stuff like that. Now this thing I just forged for Freya, you could translate it as Staff of Ice Bullets. But we'll have to find out a little bit later why it's called that. And as you can see here, Freya can also get great swords. She can get most of the weapons that Frey can, except for hammers. Those are Frey only. For now though, I'm going to go ahead and equip her for the next battle. And let's see. I'm going to equip this light staff. This is going to have a different effect from the previous magic weapon we used. But next time on Zangeki no Reginleiv, you're going to see what exactly that effect is.